Hold on. Why is my head cut off like that? Hold on, y'all. That's as good as we gonna get it. I'm gonna wait for people to join us here. All this stuff over here. It's so cluttered. Hello. Greetings and salutations. Yeah, I see y'all. I see y'all. Okay. Now, y'all, let me know. Can y'all hear me okay? Do I sound loud and clear? Do I look crystal clear? Everything look good? We here? We queer? Y'all can hear me? My hair did grow a lot, didn't it? OMG. Hey, babe. My girlfriend's in here. All right, cool. Cool. So I'm gonna let people trickle in because this was a big event. And I'm gonna wait for everybody to get here. But yes, this is a live stream. It's a special occasion. It's a big day, guys. So I was like, I gotta go live. It can't just be a premiere, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna give everybody about another minute to come in, and if not, then we're gonna just get started because we got a lot to talk about today. All right, happy full moon out there. Happy Saturn in motherfucking Pisces to all the mutable signs. It's our time. I'm a Virgo, if y'all didn't know that. I'm a Virgo, Sun, Mercury, North Node, Lilith. Yeah. But I'm gonna talk about my shirt. I know y'all see, y'all peeped the Saturn shirt, you know. I'm gonna talk about it. Y'all need to get you one of these. If you are subscribed to my newsletter, I did send out something about this shirt and this merchandise already. All right, y'all. So we're gonna get started because we already crushed for time. It's 141 of y'all in here. Thank you guys so much for being here. Now, to get into my shirts, this is a shirt that I made. It says, "Leave me alone. It is my Saturn return." If you are interested in getting this shirt, you can check the description box in the video, and it'll go to my my Etsy shop. As well as if you are on Patreon and you are subscribed to my newsletter, you are going to see I sent out a buy one, get one 50% off discount code for this specific shirt, all right? All right, y'all. So with that being said, are y'all ready to begin? Are we ready to talk about Saturn and Pisces and where it's going to be affecting all of us? If you are ready, put in the description box or in the chat, put a fire, put some flames in there, some flames. All right, so we're gonna talk about it. All right. But yeah, y'all go check out the new Etsy shop and get you something nice. I am moving all of my products over to Etsy. So I'm gonna be moving my oils. I'm gonna be moving my Everything Oracle deck is already on there and in stock if you want to check it out. But yeah, check out that Etsy shop after this video and y'all go splurge, okay? Y'all splurge. All right, so Saturn in Pisces. This is a big transit because it means we are leaving behind Saturn in Aquarius. So if you guys had Saturn in Aquarius, that means that you recently just had your Saturn return. Congratulations. Saturn returns can be some of the most challenging times of our lives. From what I heard, I'm not in my Saturn return yet. Mine is going to literally be after this Saturn in Pisces transit. So, yeah. But before we get started, I want to point out a few things so I don't have to keep repeating myself. Yes, this live stream is going to be saved. So, you know, if anybody asks, just tell them it's going to be saved. You can come back and watch it, whatever the case may be. Two, after this live stream, if you have questions for me, I am only taking questions on my Patreon, so you can follow up with me on there via DM on Patreon. And oh, for all the signs I go over, it's going to be for your sun and rising sign. That's it. Okay, so just watch for your sun and your rising. Sun, rising. I'm not gonna keep repeating it. All right, I'm gonna just go through it. People are gonna be like, "Is this for sun, moon, rising, Venus?" No, no, no. No, sun or rising. All right, and y'all just let them know. Thank you. You know, I'm trying with my skincare. But yeah, so that's all I wanted to say. I don't know if I have any moderators in here, but I do need at least two to help me manage the chat in case it gets crazy. So if anybody wants to help me moderate, let me know real quick because we're about to get started. I know I've been talking a little bit. I see somebody. Okay. Okay, let's see. Tamala, thank you so much. Tamala, you always come through. You're always here. I appreciate that. So I added another moderator, but yeah, y'all hold down the chat for me and let people know what's going on. Also direct people to the Etsy shop as well. All right, so period. Let's get into it. All right, so Saturn. Everything I'm just getting patches. Oh, shout out to you. I'm glad you got your deck. Cool. All right, where we need to get serious. Saturn in our charts, wherever Saturn shows up in our charts is literally about where we need to be disciplined, where we need to be committed, and it's where we need to work a little extra harder to tap into that area of our lives, okay? So we have Saturn in Pisces. It's a very much like a contradiction because Pisces is not a sign that likes to be limited. It is about boundless energy. It's like a void of boundaries type of sign, type of energy. And so when you put it in the planet of restrictions and limitations, there is a bit of a friction that happens there, right? But it's about having faith in the process and being committed to the end goal. So with Saturn in Aquarius, we're moving from a very pragmatic, logical, societal thinking, and now there's a lot more emotional, spiritual, higher purpose ways that we are committing to our goals. So it's not so much like it needs to be very structured and very rigid, where Saturn and Capricorn and Aquarius are both about, like, you know, climbing that ladder and being very rigid and being super, super structured. Now we are moving into flow. So if you're somebody that has a lot of fixed energy, or you're just not somebody that likes to go with the flow, then this energy is going to be a bit harder for you. So it's going to challenge you in that way, where if you're somebody like me too, who likes to plan a lot, who likes to be more logical in approaching goals, this is going to really push you to try a new way, right? It's going to push you to be like, okay, instead of like planning everything, let's go with how we intuitively feel from day to day. All right. And that can change in a moment. So it's like one moment you're feeling like, okay, I like this flow. The next you're like, this feels off. So if you're somebody that is trying to logically make it make sense why it feels off or why you want to fluctuate or flow, then you are going to struggle a bit more here. But it doesn't have to be. It depends on your personality, right? But if you have Pisces placements, it may be more challenging for you in the sense where you have to get more disciplined about how you are flowing with your carefreeness, if that makes sense. So we are in this place where Pisces is about having faith, and we have to have faith in the process, where we don't really know where we're going. We don't know what we're doing, but we have an end goal in mind. So it's like, you don't have to be fixated on like, this is the process we need to take to get there. We just have to be committed to getting to the goal and trying whatever we need to do to get to that goal. All right. Sorry if y'all hear noises outside because they're doing whatever, I don't know. All right. And also, before I get into where it's affecting all of us, just, clearing out the groundwork. It's about being a lot more adaptable. And I talked about this. If you're on my Patreon, I did a Pisces only reading like recently for advice. And we have to learn to be more adaptable, okay? We have to learn that our emotions are going to fluctuate, our feelings are going to fluctuate, things are not going to be very rigid like they were the last like 3 years or so. And we have to be ready to try different things, okay? And so discipline and having a routine is one thing, but discipline is also required when it's like we have to be aware of when it's time to make that adjustment, instead of just being like, oh, I don't want to fix this, or I don't want to change it, or I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. You just got to say, okay, we're just going to go with it. I don't know what we're doing, but this is how I feel now. This is where we're going with it. Okay. So all that being said, I cannot look at y'all's chat while I'm talking because I can't read and talk at the same time. So, you know, when I stop, I will read what you guys say, but talk amongst yourselves if you want to. All right. So now getting into all of the zodiac signs, and remember, sun and rising, that's all we're focusing on for this. But focusing on the elements, fire signs is going to be a lot more emotional work and a lot more shadow work for this transit. Earth signs is going to be a lot more relational and friendship, connecting with other people, those types of work. Air signs is going to be all about your finances, your money, and your stability. And then water signs is going to be all about your passions and your goals for yourself. Okay. So we're going to get started here. We're going to start with Pisces because Saturn is in Pisces. All right. We starting there. So if y'all ready, drop that thumbs up, drop that fire, drop a Saturn, drop a Pisces symbol, drop something so I can get started here. Yep, we're definitely going into the unknown in this sense. We are going to be a lot of like spiritual upgrades. We're going to see a lot more people getting into astrology, spirituality, trying different things. I've already begun really wanting to get more into like my meditation practices and more spiritual types of healing than just like traditional medicine. So you're going to be feeling that a lot. But yeah, so it looks like you guys are ready here. And pay attention now. If you miss your sign or somebody comes in late, just let them know what sign we're on and tell them to rewatch the reading when it's over, because y'all gonna need to rewatch this for the next 2.5 years. All right, so make sure you save it somewhere special. All right, so Pisces, spicy Pisces, you're first. Pisces sun, Pisces rising. I actually have a spicy Pisces shirt on my Etsy shop as well, so go look at that too. All right, Pisces. So Saturn is going to be moving into your first house. What is the first house? The first house is all about you. It's about your physical body. It's about your perception. It's also known as your rising sign. So if you have a Pisces sun or rising, this is about Saturn in the house of self. So you're going to really go through an upgrade when it comes down to your maturity and overall being more disciplined and more committed to you, who you are. A lot of Pisces placements in general find themselves being very self-sacrificing. So over the next few years, you're going to really have some harsh lessons about what are the consequences of self-sacrificing, especially for people who do not deserve it, for sacrificing for your other people, for your goals, for anything that has to do with you. You have to take yourself, your health, your life a lot more seriously, and you have to be more accountable for you, right? Some of you are so focused on other people, or there's like a lack of like emotional healing by projecting onto other people and not being accountable for like yourself and what you need to work on. So therefore, you are going to go through a lot of like a maturing period at this time, because it's about you, your identity. So by the end of this transit, you're going to just feel a lot wiser. You're going to learn a lot, because this is like for many of you, well, if you are on your Saturn return as well and a Pisces rising, this can be an even stronger influence for you. But if you have your Saturn return, this can apply for you as if you were a Pisces rising or sun as well. So how you perceive yourself, your self-image is all going to change, but it also will be upgraded. So a lot of you taking your health or your life or your physical body more seriously, you may stop drinking, you may start exercising, you may just really emphasize, I need to take care of myself. I need to get my life together. I need to be more aware of who and what and why I keep certain energies around me. So you really have to focus on protecting your energy by any means necessary. Okay. As well as like you may cut off a lot of people because you're like, I need to just start over and I need to like be alone for a while. But you also find that it's easier to make friends. But I feel like many of you Pisces are going to want to start on a very clean slate when it comes down to people, because you're like, okay, I see that leading up to this point, everybody in my life I haven't had the best boundaries with. I haven't put myself first in these relationships, and I just need to start over. Okay. So a lot of you guys are going to be in that position where you want to start over, but you're also going to be maturing throughout the process. So be prepared for that. Okay. You may want to be alone as well, Pisces, Sun, or rising. So that's the first house. And that's where Saturn is hitting for you, Pisces. So we're going to keep it moving here because we have the rest of the signs to get through. And I want to give everybody an equal amount of time. Let me take off my bracelet because it's distracting me. All right. So now we're moving on to, we're going to start back from the top, which is Aries. Aries, if you're an Aries Sun. Yeah, happy birthday, Pisces. If you're an Aries Sun or Aries rising, Pisces is moving into your 12th house. So at the beginning of this video, I did mention that fire signs are going to be doing a lot of emotional work, a lot of subconscious work, a lot of deep, deep, deep inner healing fire placements with this Saturn in Pisces transit. But it's going to be in your 12th house. So the 12th house in astrology is all about your subconscious mind. It's about the hidden parts of you. It's about your past. It's about karma. It's also correlated to the sign of Pisces energy. So it is one of those houses that's very hard to pinpoint when you have like planets in your 12th house. It's like you can't get a firm grasp on it. So 12th house also represents loss. Not to say that you're going to lose something, but in a sense, there is going to be like losing your old self or shedding your old self. So that can play out in a multitude of different ways. But for you, Aries, it's very important that you guys place extra attention on your rest, getting into your subconscious mind. I heard in my head like hypnosis, hypnotherapy types of things, like doing things that emphasize you working on your mental health. I also heard past life regression in my head because there's a lot of past stuff that's going to be coming up for you to work with, as well as your intuition is going to really increase during this time. But if you've been wanting to get more serious about like spirituality or get more serious about like getting into like healing yourself or healing others or like some type of spiritual practice, this is a time to commit. Okay, commit to your healing, commit to working on your subconscious mind and looking at yourself. Where do I have like subconscious beliefs about myself that are very limiting? And if you heal those, you're going to heal everything in your life. But it all starts up here. It starts from our past, it starts in our childhood. And so we need to really go within and work on ourselves from the inside out and look at what's hidden. There's going to be an emphasis for you as well, Aries, to focus more on protecting yourself from hidden enemies, because 12th house is one of hidden enemies. Hidden emotions and other people's intentions may not be made very clear for you. So you want to just be, you want to practice more intuitive healing so you can be more discerning about the energies that are coming towards you at this time. The next 2.5 years, you just want to be careful about people that come into your life, okay? And then also face any type of escapist tendencies. But it's one where you may either find it harder to be by yourself or you find it harder to come out of isolation. It just is going to depend. But that's how Saturn can show up for you if you have an Aries Sun or an Aries rising. All right, moving on to Taurus Sun, Taurus rising. And remember, if you guys have questions after this live, hit me up on my Patreon. I will answer your questions. So I think somebody said if Pisces is in the 12th house, you can just literally look back at the Aries part. I just said that one will resonate for you, but this Taurus Sun and rising, I think, well, I'm doing whole signs for like where the transit is happening. So you can resonate with first house or 11th house, which is where it's going to happen for Taurus Sun and rising. You find your birth chart, but you need your birth time to know your rising sign, okay? but the rising sign is going to be the most accurate to tell you where this transit is happening for you. Okay. So Taurus, Sun, and Rising, this Saturn and Pisces is happening for you in your 11th house. So 11th house is all about your friendships, your inner circle. It's about your hopes, your wishes, your dreams. It's about your friendships, all right? It's about social media as well, all right? So you may want to spend a lot of extra time kind of like detoxing your friendships, or you are just in this position where you're going to have to work extra hard to make friends or be connected with people, or like you may cut off some people as well, but there's likely to possibly be a an upgrade in your inner circle or in your friendships. So you are going to lose some low quality friendships, but you're likely to also upgrade to a lot of higher quality friendships. You may also want to consider having friends that are older than you, or just being in a circle where people are more knowledgeable about certain things that you want to learn, and you can learn from them as well. But yeah, so spending extra time on your friendships, or like really working hard to make sure you are maintaining and making friends, and setting better boundaries with your friends, because you may find that some friends start to like slack off in a sense, or maybe they are not keeping their word, or you know, they're falling off somehow. So you want to make sure that you are emphasizing boundaries in your relationships, friends specifically, as well as getting more disciplined with your social media presence, or structuring online, and like networking online may be something that is more appealing to you, or it's something that you have to take some more time to like really work on your social media presence, or making time for social media may be hard as well. Making time for friendships may be a little bit more tricky, but you want to make sure that you are disciplined in that way, as well as like having more high quality friendships, like I had said, and overall your social media like investments. So like making a website, you know, those are all investments that are in alignment with social media. And then as well as like aiding towards your future with your hopes and your dreams. So you're going to have to be a lot more committed to your future, and like if your friends align with your future, and if they don't, you got to put them somewhere else. Okay, put them to the side. And I think that's it. I think that's it for Taurus, suns, and risings. But you know, friendships may have to be put on the back burner for a little bit, as well as you are working towards your future goals, your future self. All right, moving on to Gemini. Gemini, sun and rising. If anybody, I don't know if anybody's been working on the timestamps, but if I would be so grateful if somebody does the timestamps for me after this reading is done, because you know, I need the help. Thank you in advance. But yeah, Gemini, sun and rising. So this is about your career, your 10th house. Okay, 10th house is our public reputation. It's correlated to the father. It's correlated to our career, long-term success, long-term achievements. It's like correlated to Capricorn. All right. And Saturn transiting the 10th, it can be really good because Saturn is at home there, because it's correlated to Capricorn, Saturn ruling Capricorn. But this is a time frame for you Geminis to get really disciplined with your career and put more emphasis on working in your career. So there might have been some periods where you're just lost in career, you're slacking off, you don't like your job, but this is a time dedicated to, okay, I need to find something that I really do want to enjoy and that I'm going to actually stick to. All right. And this is going to require you to be more adaptable, or to try different things and not give up so easily when you can't find what you're looking for. And what you want as far as your career may fluctuate a lot, but some of you may be feeling more like guided towards a career that is more spiritually driven, or that allows you to fluctuate, or can be more like artistry types of things. So those are just something to consider. But emphasis on like getting rid of anything that does not aid towards your career. So if you're like distracted by certain friends or people in your life, you need to get them out of the picture, or anybody that is not aiding towards your growth, to helping you find your career path you want to find, you know, get them out of there. And then also work before play. So this may be a time where you need to put some playtime or like to the side and get more serious about, okay, I need to finish this project by this time, or I need to start, doing this work. I need to like try to commit. Some of you may have commitment issues, but committing to your work and investing more in your career and your long-term, anything that aids to your long-term success. So that could be like your 401k, that could be about like getting stuff in alignment for early retirement. I don't know, like stuff like that. And just overall handling your responsibilities. And some of you may be upgrading into a higher position as well. Like you may go into a managerial position over the next few years. You may be an entrepreneur, some type of upgrade. If you do the work, if you are very disciplined and dedicated, Saturn is one that rewards. So you will be rewarded for your hard work as long as you work hard. All right, Gemini. But it's all about your career. Next, Cancer. Cancerians, Cancer Sun and Cancer risings, okay? Saturn is going to be transiting through your 9th house. Moving to the beauty industry. That's dope. Yeah, that sounds cool. That sounds fun. That's different. I think that'll be a big change for you. But yeah, Cancers. Cancer Sun and rising is going to be transiting your 9th house. 9th house is correlated to spirituality, religion, higher learning, teaching, long distance traveling. So many of you may either face some limitations when it comes down to traveling, and it may be harder for you to squeeze in traveling, or wanting to go towards some type of expansion. You might have to work a little bit harder, whether it's like a financial setback or a timing conflict or something. But for others of you, it's important that you get more serious about your traveling and like actually making time to travel and say, okay, I'm actually going to take this trip, or I'm going to go study abroad or whatever. But traveling for your education can be very, very fruitful, especially if it's something that you are going to commit to. And traveling and studying, or like getting into some type of teaching or some type of education over the next few years is something that could really help you a lot. And just investing more into, like, if you want to travel, you will have to invest. Like maybe you want to invest into like a bus, or invest into like a better car, or save up your money for a bigger trip, something like that. And committing to also being more open-minded. So there could be some restrictions when it comes down to the way you explore your spirituality, or the way you commit to your faith or your religion. And it's like your belief system may be tested during this time or challenged. So, that can show up in multitudes of ways where your beliefs or your faith is tested. But it is going to be a test of faith for all of us, because Saturn is about tests. It's about seeing how committed you are to your end goal. So, it's just in the area of traveling, or literally connected to your religious beliefs. So you may waver a bit on your spirituality or your spiritual beliefs during this time. And you may have to work harder to stay committed to your belief system, or to go back to school, or to travel. But overall, you want to be more committed to your religion, or your religious practices, or your spirituality, traveling, and your overall education. Because remember, I said for the water signs, it's about your passions and about your goals, where Saturn is really influencing here. Okay. Next, we got Leo. Leos. I love me some Leo. Leo is one of my favorite signs. Leo Sun and Leo risings, where Saturn is hidden for you. I got a Leo Ho shirt also on Etsy. It actually says Leo. Y'all gotta go look at that. If you actually have Saturn Pisces, should you listen to the Pisces? Yeah, go listen to the Pisces part as well, even if you don't have Pisces rising or sun. Okay, Leo. So if you got Leo sun or rising, the Saturn return is happening in your 8th house. All right. So like I mentioned, fire signs are getting that shadow work, getting that emotional upgrade. Okay, getting more emotionally mature. So 8th house is another house that's a little bit tricky to pinpoint, like 12th house. It's about taboo, it's about vulnerability, it's about sex, intimacy, merging other people's resources, death, rebirth, things like that. So this is a time where, Leo, you will be challenged in the place of letting go and learning to embrace change as well as endings in your life. So this is not to scare you, but you know, I have to be honest, obviously, because this is what the house represents. But it's one of those things that can be metaphorically or literally. We don't know. We're not supposed to know. We just gotta like let it play out. But getting more serious about ending things and letting things go, as well as like death of some kind, or whether that be transformational death within you or something around you. We are shedding old skin, as well as getting more disciplined about being intimate with other people, okay, and being more vulnerable, as well as like committing to some type of partnership. So especially financially, Leo, some of you may find that you need like more hands on deck. Like maybe you're used to doing things by yourself a lot of the time, or you want to be like, you know, the leader, or you want to take the lead or be the center of attention in your life or in your something, whatever it is. But you're going into a place where you need to learn to merge more with other people and utilize other people's resources, or let go of the intimacy fears of connecting with others, especially on a financial level. So some of you may be moving in with somebody. You know, it will help you save or cut back on expenses, or you may go into business with somebody, something along those lines. But you are going to work hard to overcome these intimacy blockages, and it could be on a sexual level as well. Some of you will be facing some sexual trauma, or you know, facing any restrictions that you've had leading up to this point with like intimacy and vulnerability with other people. And get really, really, really serious about your shadow work and facing the darker parts of you, because 8th house is about that darkness. It's correlated to Scorpio. So you want to dive in, you want to get in your psyche, you want to reevaluate things in your life, let things end, and you know, shed that old skin and accept the things that are changing, that are ending, and where you are growing. Okay, that's really what it's all about here. Okay, Leo. As well as having some more boundaries with anything that ends in your life, that tries to come back towards you, that's not healthy for you. All right, so 8th house is a very, very tricky house. It's one of those houses that's kind of hard to explain, kind of like the 12th house. But of course, do more research on the 8th house and get very familiar with it. Virgo, Virgo sun, Virgo risings. Hey. All right, Virgo. So we got Virgo, the Saturn in Pisces transit is happening in our 7th house. Sorry. In our 7th house. 7th house is all about relationships. Relationships of any kind. Close relationships, friendships, family, business partner, but essentially one-to-one relationships, as well as hidden enemies. Not hidden. Open enemies. Okay. 12th house is hidden enemies. But yeah, so this is, like I literally mentioned in the Virgo reading, it's a time period for us to get more serious about our relationships and figure out, are we ready to commit to certain people? Who is committed to us? Who is not committed to us? Where we need to kick some people out? Where we need to reestablish our boundaries? So throughout this whole transit, you will find that you are constantly or consistently establishing and reinforcing and reestablishing boundaries, and getting more serious about who's in your life, why they're there, what purpose are they serving, cutting people out, adding people in, upgrading in your relationship status. Like many of you Virgos are going to find that you are ready to be more serious about committing to a partner relationship. You may get engaged, you may get in a relationship, you may get married during this time. Something about your relationships are going to upgrade, or there's going to be some restrictions when it comes down to your relationships over the next few years. So it may be distance, it may be money, it may be time, it may be health, it could be life changes where relationships do become harder to maintain, or you are going to have to put in a lot more work to overcome challenges in your relationships. But if you stay committed to it, then it will all work out. And that goes for everybody. Stay committed to your end goal and like dedication to finding your relationships, keeping your relationships, but also having those boundaries, and finding that balance between perfectionism and releasing control. Because yes, you are going to have to set higher standards, but you also are going to have to tap into the opposite sign, Pisces energy, and learning that some relationships you just have to let them go, or you cannot change the person, you cannot fix the person, you cannot control where it's flowing, you don't know what's going on. You only can do what you can do. But once you start teetering off into trying to change somebody else and like trying to nitpick and control, you're going to be very, very uncomfortable, and you're going to struggle. You're going to be very upset. All right. But you're going to see where foundations need some more work in your relationships, and where you need to develop better boundaries with people, of how much they take from you, how much you give to them, and also be a lot more discerning, like I was telling Aries. So if you got Virgo and Aries there, you you got to be more discerning, because Virgo, for the seventh house, it's about open enemies. So where Aries is hidden, Virgo's open. So it's like you got people that are challenging you, that you know don't like you, that you know are against you, or you may have to set restrictions with those people. I'm hearing like for some of you, it may come down to legal matters where you have to get a restraining order, where you may have to take it there, take it to that next level to set that boundary. So that's what's going on for Virgo. It's about your relationships here. All right. Moving on to Libra. What we got on Libra? Libra, so Libra, sun and rising. This is happening. Saturn and Pisces is happening in your, thank you, Tamla, in your 6th house. All right. Your 6th house. 6th house is all about your daily routines. It's about your work life. It's about your health. It's about your routines overall. And so you have to definitely get more disciplined. And like I said earlier, air signs, it's going to be about your money in Saturn and Pisces, challenging your structure about your money. But getting more serious about your routines and also incorporating some type of faith or spirituality into your routines is going to really help you a lot. So something about your routines will be more restrictive. Maybe you're going to have less time for doing certain things. You're going to have to squeeze in time to do like more of your self-care, or like hang out with your friends, or like something about your routine. You're going to have to be very adaptable and get prepared for the changes that come up. All right. So it could be like, you get more hours at work, or like something happens there, or something comes up with your health. Now you have to change your whole routine based around your health. So, just be very adaptable to being quick on your feet, to just be like, okay, let me keep adjusting my routines. Or your routines are going to have to, you're going to have to spend a lot of time committed to like figuring out a routine or a game plan that works for you, or also like going with the flow because of that Pisces energy, and working a lot harder on your health. So this is where some of you guys are going to really consider cutting out things that are not good for you, like drinking a lot, smoking. You're going to be more mindful about how you start your day, how you end your day, and just trying to be very consistent on some type of routine. Because like I was telling Gemini, air signs sometimes can be a little scattered because you're air, right? You're always thinking about this. There's a lot like going on. And so you may need some help with getting organized or coming up with a routine. Get you a good earth sign friend. We're going to get you right, especially a Virgo. Okay, so you may have to like really get grounded in that and work on your health, and pay more attention to details, because like in your routines, you may overlook some details about like things, or like little minor things lead to bigger things. And then, yeah, like I said, day-to-day activities or health may be some type of restriction for you, where you have to work extra hard to work around something, and like just keep your routines, your daily life very flexible. All right. So that's Libra. Last Libra, we got Scorpio, Sag, Capricorn, and Aquarius left. We are almost finished. Almost done. All right, so Scorpio, sun and rising. Like me, I'm a Scorpio rising. Scorpio, um, so Scorpio, sun and rising, this Saturn in Pisces is happening in our fifth house. Fifth house is all about fun, playfulness, romance, dating, sex. It's a house correlated to the sign of Leo, self-expression, and joy. All right. So it is going to be a time where you are going to need to get more serious about your creativity, having fun, playfulness, and focusing on your overall happiness. So there can be some restrictions that come against you that limit you in your ability to be more self-expressive or your ability to have fun. It may be in a sense where you have to plan out more playtime. You know, you have to be more serious about like, okay, I need to, in my schedule somewhere, I need to write down, this is a day I'm going to just have fun, or this is a day I'm going to choose to be happy. Whatever it is, you got to, you know, be more intentional about that, because there can be some restrictions there. Or maybe something that restricts you from your dating life or sexually somehow. And there also might be a time where you are going to start planning around having children. So especially if you're like I'm hearing, like if you're older, you may want to consider having your children soon, like, or start planning to have your kids, because there might be some type of limitation that comes up with that, or you're gonna have to put some extra energy into like, how are you going to have kids type of situation. And also being more responsible for you, Scorpio, with the types of fun you have, because you don't want to be reckless and careless with like how you're having fun, and doing anything like that can sabotage you or your life. And being more serious, taking hobbies more serious. Some of you may turn a hobby, something that you just do on the side, into a full-blown career. I'm feeling that strongly for a lot of you Scorpios. By the end of this transit, you're going to have multiple streams of income likely, or multiple things that you take a lot more seriously that you just were doing for fun, and it's going to become a lot more like expansive for you, and needing to find more time to, or push yourself to be more self-expressive or creative. So there could be a lot of like writer's block or creative blocks for you over the next few years, and you're going to have to push yourself to be more creative. That means like, you know, trying things to think outside the box, being around more people who are creative, trying out different classes, reading different books. All right, really tapping into your inner child, because there's restrictions there where you need to just be more playful and just do things that are like really, really fun. Okay, so wait, what did I say? Oh, yeah, I mean, pregnancy is a possibility because the fifth house relates to children. So just saying. All right, moving on. Moving on to Sagittarius. 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 And I'm on tropical. I do tropical astrology, but some people say that it resonates for Vedic. So you can check it if you want to, but I just stick to tropical because then I end up looking at too many different things and I get confused. Everybody drop me that like. Everybody, all 251 of y'all in the chat right now, if you're not driving especially, drop me a like, share the live, all that good stuff. But yeah, Saggy, let's get into it. So I just did the Sagittarius reading because I'm getting out the mutable signs first, but it's on my channel, so go check that out if you haven't seen that as well after this, because I basically explained everything in there, how this transit would affect you. But yeah, Sagittarius, fire signs, all fire signs, the emotional work is happening. Whether you like it or not, it's happening, okay? Sagittarius, sun and rising, this Saturn and Pisces transit is happening in your fourth house. The fourth house is correlated to your mother, your home life, your past, your privacy, your emotional matters in your life. All right, so you're going to have to get a lot more serious about tapping into healing some emotional wounds, or any emotional wounds you have correlated to the mother figure in your life. Okay, it doesn't have to be the mom, but like whatever figure you associate with the mother figure. Okay, more serious about your home life. So many of you, maybe you need to spend or save more money to prepare for a moving situation, or you want to get serious about your living situation and working towards like an upgrade in your housing, or maybe you need to downgrade temporarily, but there's something about your house, or you may have some restrictions when it comes down to your living situation. So maybe you want to move but you cannot, or there's something that comes or happens or pops up with like when you're trying to move, or some place where you are currently. Okay, and you have to work on healing that emotional wound, or whatever emotional wounds you have, something about your childhood possibly, or something about your past, or something with your mom specifically. You have to work through healing that part of you. Okay, and I explain all that in the Sagittarius reading in more depth. But working through childhood trauma, but especially like repressed emotions. So anything that you have not been facing emotionally is going to come up, or you're going to see that your emotions are quite literally holding you back. Your emotional life is going to be limiting you. Like your emotions can either hinder you or they can propel you forward. So it just depends on how you're processing them. Or if you're not processing them at all, then you are going to feel a lot more held back. So you have to take your emotions more seriously and do that work, do that hard work to like overcome the emotional challenges that you face. And when you do that, the more emotionally you are evolving and maturing, and you're not just like putting your emotions on the back burner saying, oh, I'll deal with these feelings later. No, deal with them as they come up. Why do you want to have to deal with them later? Like, you should not be still dealing with emotions from 20 years ago. Like, if you were to just face them now, you would not have to deal with it at another inconvenient time. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Deal with your emotions, Sagittarius, okay? So you don't have to keep putting them off and putting them off. Yes, you did, Miss Libra. I'm on Capricorn, and all I have left is Aquarius after that. Alrighty. Capricorn. Capricorn, Sun and Risings. Where's the Capricorns at? I don't see no Capricorns in the chat. I'm about to skip it. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. I love my Capricorns too. All right, Caps. So if you are a Capricorn, Sun and Rising, this is a time to, oh, you got Sun and Rising Capricorn. Oh, wow. You got Saturn happening in your third house. So third house is all about our communication. It's about short distance travel. It's about networking. It's about technology. It's about thinking, the mind, and it is also about siblings and our neighborhood, like our kind of like closer inner circle here. So this is a time period where you are going to have to get more serious about your communication, or the ways that you communicate, communication issues. So anything that, if you have like a tendency to hold back a lot when you want to say something, this Saturn in Pisces transit is going to be really emphasizing that you need to develop more transparency or more maturity in the way you communicate, or just communicating, period. You may experience some restrictions when it comes down to your relationship with your siblings. If you have siblings, there may be something that comes up there where you need to set more boundaries with them, or, you know, with connecting with them, there might be restrictions where you cannot connect with them somehow. And some of you may want to be more serious or take networking more seriously. Like I was also telling, who had that? Taurus. Yeah, Taurus, because yeah. So networking, take it more seriously, as well as you may have to set some restrictions for yourself about how much you are traveling, whether it be short distance or whatever, or there could be some restrictions that come up with traveling. So it could be restrictions with your car, could be restrictions with getting to somewhere, or the money to travel. And so just, you know, keep that in mind, as well as you may feel restricted in your ability to communicate, which is why I emphasize you're going to have to overcome, like, or try to find ways to overcome that restrictive block for, you know, whatever that is. And you may have to like push yourself a bit more with writing, or like finding different ways to excel in your communication. For some of you, I feel like you should probably take like a speech class. I took one of those in college. Yeah, like a speech class, or push yourself to do more like with communicating, like presentations, or practicing somehow. I don't know like the different ways that you can do that, but oh, you said communication is your biggest issue. Yeah, so it's really all about practice. I mean, for me, I used to be, well, I'm still shy, but I used to be like very extremely shy. Like I would not talk at all. And no, a lot of you wouldn't know that, but I had to challenge myself, and I had to push myself, and I had to get out of my comfort zone, and I had to like try to talk to people. Like if you're challenging yourself at this time, communication will get easier for you, but you do have to do the work. Like you can't just hide in your room and expect you to be a better communicator. Like you have to talk to people, you have to start somewhere, you have to like sign up for things where you have to talk, like, you know, try practice talking in a video, like, you know, and record yourself, you know, things like that. So as well as getting more serious about learning, and education may be like important to you. So if you have been considering going back to school, then this is a good time to like learn a new skill, or like learn something that can aid to your communication. But yeah, a lot of y'all wouldn't even know, right? No, I'm very shy. Very shy. Very shy, and I'm an introvert. So yeah. But yeah, Capricorn. So everything surrounding your communication, and the way that you think, and the way that your mind works, and getting more in tune with writing and doing things with your hands as well can be very helpful. All right. You can tell. No, you can't. No, you can't. All right. So we done with Capricorn. We're now on the last one. Um, Gemini's done. Done. Gemini been done. We're on Aquarius. Well, I'm glad you can tell, honey. It's not a secret. But Aquarius, Sun, and Rising. This is the last one for this video. Once it's done, just wait for it to re-upload, and then you can rewatch it back, okay? Oh yeah, some of you may want to consider learning another language too. Capricorn or Cancer. Sorry, I'm just looking at y'all's comments because I haven't got a chance to read them yet. But all right, Aquarius, if you're an Aquarius Sun or an Aquarius Rising, this Saturn and Pisces is happening in your second house. Second house is about our income, about money, about our self-worth, about our finances, and overall stability, and just the material world. So this is a time period where you need to get more serious about your money, your spending habits, your saving habits, and developing a better relationship to money. So some of you may have, or you may experience having a like a scarcity mindset, or maybe you have to make more sacrifices for money. So there could be some type of restriction or limitation when it comes down to your money, that you have to like save a little bit more, or you have to put some money aside for something. So just be careful about that. And just getting more serious overall about like, okay, I need to start budgeting here, I need to start managing here, or I need to get more serious about investing in something as well. But setting those limitations with how much you spend, and, you know, overall your financial situation, and being more adaptable to spending your money. So there can be things that demand your attention with money, or something that comes up. It could be anything, like your house, your car, your kids, and you have to be ready to, you know, put down the money. on that. So that's something to consider. And your self-worth. So second house is also correlated to self-worth. And in my eyes, like the way I see it is like, the more you believe you are worthy, the less you will place your self-worth on material things. So you have to develop a better relationship with money by not putting your self-worth in correlation or equivalency to what you are worth, right? So you may experience like the fluctuations of your money, and you may feel like taking it personally, and it diminishes your self-worth. But we'll realize, like in Saturn and Pisces in the second, like Pisces does not care about the material plane. It doesn't care about money. So you'll find that you have to start to build your self-worth based on other things besides like your money, your monetary status, and you're going to have to invest into other things like what, like if you don't have any money, you lose all your money today, what else do you have to lean on? Okay, so that's what you want to really be thinking about, Aquarius. It's like, if I lost it all, like if I put all my energy, my time, my emotional, investment into my money, and that's gone, like what else do I have to lean on? So you want to start making those investments elsewhere as well. So money is not the only investment that you want to be making. You want to really make those spiritual bonds, those emotional bonds as much as you can. So even if you do fall on some hard times, you have something else that is valuable to you. So it's not just all about your money and correlating your self-worth to your money, but also if you would work on your self-worth, your money improves on its own, because it's like you then put yourself in positions to make more money. You set the bar higher for how you want to make money, what you're making money in regards to, putting yourself out there. So it's just like everything is like a circle. It goes in a cycle. Like self-worth affects money, money affects self-worth. So that's where you're at with that. And then facing your fears about money. So this could be like, if you know that you need to spend money, scared money don't make no money. So there's things that you need to invest in now, and you will get your money back. But if you're afraid to invest, then you're not going to get the money back. So some of you are going to be afraid to invest in like yourself, but an investment in yourself is never a waste of money. Okay. So that could be investing in your therapy, investing in your 401k, investing in your, whatever it is you're trying to invest in it. If you believe it's going to bring you long-term benefits versus like quick fix of things. No, don't try to focus on quick fix about, like in regards to your money. Think long money. All right. Long money. Alrighty. That was it. That was the last sign. Woo! We did it, y'all. We did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. Yes, my pronouns are they, them. Thank you. And if you missed your sign, of course, you can rewatch this whole thing. Once it's done, it'll be up here. Keep rewatching it for the next 2.5 years. Oh, you have Aquarius rising with an Aries second house. So you have like a, what is it called? Intercepted houses, I think. Look at the house where you have Pisces. Would that be your 12th? Y'all are welcome. Yes, y'all. So a couple ending announcements before y'all go ahead and click off. In second house, I got confused. I am now confused. Yeah, before y'all click off, if you guys have any questions for me, I will be taking questions on my Patreon. Y'all can subscribe. It's in the description box. And you can DM me directly on there, as well as I will be posting for those of you who are just ending your Saturn return that was in Aquarius, talking about what now? Now that your Saturn return is done, what do you need to focus on? And I will be also just giving the rest of advice for mutable signs for this month because this transit is very important. Happy Saturn return for you. If it's your Saturn return, you can watch for your sign, sun, and rising, as well as you can watch for the Pisces part. But hopefully somebody's going to have the timestamps up by the end of this for us, so we don't have to be confused. And then as well as go check out the shop with the new Saturn and Pisces merchandise or Saturn return merch that I have on right now. I did send a code out. And I'll give y'all the code right now if y'all gonna buy something. Buy one, get one 50. But if you don't, I'm gonna find you. But let me know if y'all want the code, okay? I'll say it. If not, it's in the newsletter that I sent out and it's on Patreon. So you don't understand what's gonna make Sag emotional because it's happening in your 4th house. Your 4th house is about emotions. It's about private life. It's about inner security. It's about your mom. Wait, what? What on Patreon? What about Patreon? Are y'all asking what is Patreon? Or are y'all asking about the code? How do you find my Patreon? It's in the description box in this video, but also you can find it in any link in my bios, but it's patreon.com/tarotbybronx. But it's in my link tree, either on Instagram or Twitter or in my YouTube videos in the description. I gotta go back. I didn't see y'all's questions. Will I talk about how human design is affected? So, that's the thing. It's like it's not necessarily that like Saturn return's gonna Saturn Pisces is going to affect the human design types necessarily, but it's like you can learn to navigate it from a human design perspective, I guess you can say. I might do a reading on that. When will it start affecting Sag emotionally? Maybe look at the degrees of your houses wherever you have Pisces, and like whenever Saturn moves into the degrees that is your house's degrees, that's probably when it's going to start affecting you emotionally. But I mean, it's going to show up in other ways. Like it may not just be emotionally, it may just have something to do with your home life situation or something correlated to your mother, possibly. I'm a Virgo. I've gone through a breakup and lost my job. Do you think it's yeah, well, for Virgos, like I said, it's going to happen in your 7th house. So there is going to be a lot of changes in your relationships and your partnerships overall. And just to be prepared to make adjustments according to relationships. Because I mean, it's not only affecting sun and rising, it can affect any of your planets, but like for rising specifically and sun, you can tell based on your rising sign where it's going to affect you directly on your houses. So that's why rising is so important, because you can see where a transit is happening in that specific house, so in that specific theme of your life. Yes, I do personal readings. All that is in the description box everywhere. It's on Calendly you can book. It is pretty limited availability because they book out pretty quick, but you can find it in the links in any of my bios. I will not reach out to you to give you a reading. That's a scam. Yeah, look at your rising sign first, mainly, and then look at your sun. But, yeah, y'all, I'm gonna get off here. If you have questions, like I said, DM me on my Patreon. That's where I'm accepting those at. Check out the Etsy shop. Patreon, you can find everything, every link in every bio. You can find it there, and I'll answer more of y'all's questions. Go back and rewatch this video. Check out the merchandise. If you're an Aquarius rising, Pisces is in your second house. It's going to affect your second house. I follow tropical, but you can follow whatever you want. There's no better or worse. But yeah, and if y'all want to use that code, if you want to get buy one 50% off, it's BOGO50. BOGO50. So essentially you kind of get like a free shirt. All right, go check that out. Thank y'all for watching. Hit me up on the other. I'll see y'all on the other side, which is Patreon. All right, y'all ready?